We must also learn from each other and strengthen our partnerships to drive resilience to climate change. This summit is particularly important to us on the African continent, where a majority of our people are small-scale farmers who rely on agriculture for their livelihood. Given its sensitivity to climate change, agriculture will remain a key priority to our climate adaptation agenda, and we must give our farmers the tools, the information, the education, and the financial support that they need to enable them to adapt to sustainable practices and respond to changing weather patterns, as well as to enhance their productivity. Kenya, for example, is already experiencing the multifold climate impacts, including erratic rainfall, droughts, and increased temperatures. And to contain this situation, we have scaled up our adaptation efforts, mainstreaming them into our national development strategy. And I expect that the Global Center for Adaptation, Africa, hosted by the African Development Bank, will be a key partner in this particular endeavor. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are here, and I am here to once again give Kenya's commitment to implement the Adaptation Action Agenda, but we can only succeed if we all as a global community collaborate in this noble endeavor. By pulling together, we will emerge stronger and more resilient, and indeed we can expect to reap the triple dividends of both reducing emissions, spurring economic growth, and delivering social and environmental benefits. I want to take this opportunity to thank you, Prime Minister Rutte, to thank my good friend Ban Ki-moon and his foundation, and all participants for making sure that we are here talking together, recognizing that the time for action is now. Thank you all very much.
Now, Lawrence Waronge, the main suspect in the murder of his family and a handyman, is unfit to stand trial. A Kiambu court has ruled. Waronge will now have to wait for another month to take plea in the murder of close to his entire family in Karura, Kiambaa, after it was discovered he is mentally ill for trial. The second mental assessment will be done at Mathari Mental Hospital, while the suspect remains in police custody. The case will be mentioned on 1st of March this year. The second suspect, Sarah Modhoni, who is said to be Waronge's girlfriend, will now be a prosecution witness. The accused appeared before Kiambu Chief Magistrate Patricia Geshohi.
Furahia Mungu sana. Nimelia machozi ya uchungu, sasa ninalia machozi ya furaha. Ninafurahi sana kwa sababu ya Mungu, kwa sababu hiyo ni kazi ya Mungu, sio mtu.
Now, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, cleared 8 candidates running for the Machakos senatorial by-elections slated for March 18. IEBC has cleared 3 candidates this morning out of 15 candidates who had shown interest in the seat. Maendeleo Chapchap candidate John Mutua Katuku, CCU's Lily Mwanzia, and Party of Economic Democracies Stanley Mwini were cleared today. John Musingi of Muungano Party, Simeon Kioko Kitheka of Grand Dream Development Party, Francis Munyambu Musembi, independent candidate, Ndambi Sebastian Zhao, independent candidate, and Urbanus Muthama Ngengele of United Democratic Alliance were cleared yesterday.
The first lady to be cleared of ID number 146547-8 is validly nominated for the Senate by-election to be held on 18th day of March 2021 in Machakos County.
Na mimi niko tayari, mnithamini, nitatunza na nilinde hii kiti yenu. Kiti ni ya wananchi na niko tayari.
I want to assure the people of Machakos County that I will do what it takes to protect their resources through the Senate.
This is a short period. Hatutaki tutume mtu kwa Senate aende kuanza kujifunza maneno ya standing orders. Hiyo maneno yote najua. Nikienda kuwa senator wa county ya Machakos, itasaidiana na wale maseneta wengine kuona pesa ya mwananchi imetumika vizuri, kuona accountability, transparency in spending of Kenya taxpayers' money.
Now, as Kabuchai March 4th by-election campaigns intensifies, Ford Kenya Deputy Party Leader Richard Onyonka has expressed confidence that the party will clinch the seat. Boniface Baraza reports.
Addressing the media in Kitale, Trans Nzoia County, Onyonka reaffirmed the party's position of winning the forthcoming by-election, owing to the fact Kabuchai is perceived a Ford Kenya stronghold.
Tumejipanga, tutaenda kule ni kuongea na wananchi, na mimi haswa ningependa kuwauliza wananchi wa Kabuchai kuwa kwa vile ule mbunge ambaye alifariki alikuwa anaketi kwa hiki kiti, alikuwa wa Ford Kenya. Ningependa kuwasihi wananchi wa Kabuchai wahakikishe kuwa wametupa mkono ili tumalize kipindi chetu. Baada ya mwaka 2022 hayo ni mengine tutaongea, lakini pia tutapigana tu kawaida na kuhakikisha kuwa wananchi ni kuwabembeleza, kuwazungumzia na kuhakikisha kuwa chama chetu kimeenda mbele.
Majimbo Kalasinga of Ford Kenya and Evans Kakai of UDA are said to be the front runners in the March 4th by-election. Meanwhile, Onyonka has cautioned politicians driving the hustler versus dynasty narrative.
Yeyote anaongea kuwa kuna wengine ambao ni maskini na wale wamewafanya maskini ni akina hawa na nani, hiyo siasa haiendi mahali. Sababu ni kuwa wale viongozi wanaongea kuhusu siasa walala hoi na wananchi ni wale ambao wamekuwa kwa hii siasa miaka 30 iliyopita. So ukianza kuongea hivyo, kwanza tutakuuliza wewe ulikuwa wapi, umefanya nini, pesa ngapi umeiba, ngapi umefanyia kazi, umeleta kampuni za kupatia wananchi kazi. Hiyo ni siasa ya kupotosha.
Make that mistake of going with the boys around, your time is out, you will be arrested and hiyo ni ujinga. Siasa ni kuongea na wananchi kama hao kwa upole, waambie sasa hata mimi nimesimama, nobody is forcing, nobody will do anything. Lakini sasa mpaka sasa unachukua vijana na mawe na fimbo na shoka na mapanga. Heaven's sake.
Campaigns are already in high gear in Kabuchai constituency. Boniface Barasa, TV47, Trans Nzoia County.
Thank you, Barasa, for that report. Now, education stakeholders continue to express concerns over the safety of teachers in schools following reports of several cases of assault to teachers by learners in some schools. Kajiado North Secretary Eric Koringo has challenged the government to ensure the security of teachers in their workplaces. Korongo also challenged the government to restore security in Kapedo.
Walimu sasa ni kama wamekuwa endangered species. Wanafanya kazi katika mazingira ambayo ni hatari. So there is all reason to think about the security and the safety of our teachers and our learners. Kama walimu wako hatarini, wanafunzi je? Si wao pia wako hatarini kutokana na wanafunzi wenzao pia. Kwa hivyo ni vizuri sana hata masuala ya nakada pia iangalie maybe the masuala ya drugs katika mashule. Sehemu kama ya Kapedo wanastahili wapewe vijana walimu kutoka sehemu hiyo. Wao ndio wanaelewa geographical terrain ya hiyo sehemu, na kwa hivyo wanastahili. Na ndiposa tulikuwa tunakashifu masuala ya delocalization. Bado sisi msimamo wetu tunakashifu, na kwa hivyo ninataka kuunga mkono huo ushauri Regional Commissioner Natembea aliweza kupea serikali. Nataka kusema ya kwamba walimu wetu wajiondoe katika sehemu hizo, wasisubiri chochote tena kiendelee mpaka usalama wao wahakikishwe.
Now, the government's intention to procure locally manufactured hospital beds from two young entrepreneurs in Githunguri, Kiambu County, ran into headwinds after the Presidential Delivery Unit (PDU) claimed that one of the men is facing several criminal allegations. The revelations were made even as a visit to the workshop where the innovators claim to have been making and storing beds that have allegedly left them wallowing in debts showed little activity with only a single ready bed in sight. Mungai Gathogo and his colleague Joseph Muhinja have claimed to have incurred loans amounting to more than 3.5 million Kenya shillings to import materials. Kiambu Member of Parliament Gathoni Wamushomba, however, pleaded with the government to forgive Gathogo and commit to purchase the beds.
When I came here and this story went around in social media, somebody from Nakuru called me and told me that young man came and took my 800,000 shillings to deliver for me something, which he never delivered. We can see that you are now dealing with him. Please help us get him. And I chose not to. I chose not to. I never told it to anybody, but I told it to Gathogo.
Secretary and Service Party Leader Mwangi Kionjori has asked Mount Kenya residents to demand their share of the national cake before supporting any presidential candidates seeking to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta. Speaking during the burial of Kevin Karumo at Karindondo village in Mathura constituency, Kionjori says that it would be unfair for voters from the region to blindly support candidates without knowing what is in store for them.
It is our concern to know whether we are being ruled the right way. It is our concern to see social justice, good governance, ensuring that nobody will come and stifle democracy in this country. And that is why some of us are very steadfast that we shall tell Kenyans the truth. We shall still tell them that the waters are disturbed. Kuna mawimbi. We cannot sit down today as a community and say whoever becomes president, we are okay.
Now, the government's intention to procure. Sorry about that. It's time to take a short break. We will be right back.
When the clock strikes 7:30 p.m. every Monday, it means it's time for...
The biggest challenge of starting a business in Kenya is the layers of licenses you need to pay.
The Grind. We tell you the do's and don'ts of business.
But the biggest fear was whether I'm going to make it in business or whether I'll lose my 150,000.
I say business is not about how much capital you have.
The Grind, every Monday at 7:30 p.m. It's been an amazing year in the kitchen here on The Throwdown. We brought you ugali and brown fish by Sophia. The tasty butter chicken from the classic Mayura restaurant. And the sweet Oreo cake dessert by Lillian. This year, we bring you bigger and better from more mouth-watering meals, kitchen hacks, restaurant reviews, and even street foods. Tune in to The Throwdown every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. When the clock strikes 7:30 p.m. every Monday, it means it's time for...
The biggest challenge of starting a business in Kenya is the layers of licenses you need to pay.
The Grind. We tell you the do's and don'ts of business.
But the biggest fear was whether I'm going to make it in business or whether I'll lose my 150,000.
Has yet again castigated Deputy President William Ruto over his Hustler dynasty narrative, terming it divisive. Raila further says that the Jubilee government has failed to deliver its promises to Kenyans into power. He was speaking a few minutes ago after meeting student leaders in Nairobi.
To create 1 million jobs every year. Every year, 1 million jobs. Now, the 8th year, there should be 8 million jobs. The rate of unemployment has gone up from where we left it in Grand Coalition government. Where are these 8 million jobs? You've forgotten that you promised 8 million jobs. Now you're saying you want to mama mboga, mtu wa mkokoteni, mtu wa wheelbarrow. Why wheelbarrow? You say modern jobs. Where are these personal jobs? It's a 6 months. So you're going to build modern stadia, each and every county, 47 counties. Each and all of them will have modern sports complex where the youth are going to be able to train. Where are they, Mr. 6 months? Where the stadia? If Kipchoge Keino Stadium, which we left under construction, been dormant. I just read in the paper yesterday that now they're starting again to do something. If you go to Embu, they don't have that stadium. You go to Tharaka-Nithi, it is not there. You go to Kericho, it's not there. You go to Mandera, it's not there. You can go to other those counties. They have not been done.
Now, police in Kisumu have launched investigations into a fire incident at the Kisumu Boys High School. The incident is, however, being treated as arson after fire brought down a temporary dormitory made of iron sheets at the school. Area OCPD Peter Katama says nothing was salvaged from the fire that razed down a dormitory that hosts 60 students.
Preliminary investigation reveals that no life was lost, but nothing was salvaged. The entire luggage of students was burned. We are treating this one as arson, and investigations are on. We will, of course, use all the agencies, Kisumu Fire Department, Kenya Power, and the CID to get us to the bottom of this.
On to Wajir, where a group of professionals from Elders constituency have come together to form the first association of its kind in Wajir County. The association, named Elders Professionals Association, aims to strategize on how to push forward a transformational agenda in order to improve the lives of residents. Isadin Haji reports from Wajir.
This is the launch of a professional association, one of its kind, formed in Wajir County by elites from Elders constituency. They were drawn from different sectors to come together and better the lives of the locals. They say it's time for them to strategize on how to pass forward a transformational agenda.
As Elders Professionals Association, we have come together to work with the Department of Education to tackle the COVID-19 pandemic.
Schools in this region have experienced mass exodus of teachers, and that has resulted to many students losing grip on quality education. This has resulted to a rise in early marriage amongst the girl child. The need to sensitize parents and students on the importance of education has remained to be a huge gap that needed to be addressed.
The closure of schools because of the COVID-19 has risked the girls into early marriages. We are also making caution and engaging with the parents to really not to accept such kind of issues.
I want to appeal to the professionals that we really need to take an interest in the education sector because it is the key to a lifetime of opportunity. If our kids do not get proper education, then we will have wasted their future life.
As prolonged drought raged a huge landmass of northeastern region, robbing of major resources such as water and pasture, institutions such as schools barely have access to these basic needs. The underground water tank in this school has a reason to smile.
We have, as a team, an elders professional. Among the many others we are doing in the water tracking, we have brought water, at least to take them for about a week.
Water crisis here is severe. You can imagine with a large body of students like this, using water tracked from a very far town like Rift.
Just a day after the launch of this association, its impact and perhaps the important role this dedicated group can play is already having a ripple effect at the grassroots. Izzeddin Haji, TV47, Elders Constituency.